identify himself as the king, voiced his displeasure calling NCR citizens, quote, the devil in disguise. He added he didn't want to see the NCR in the ghetto, and called for a mass, quote, return to sender. That news was brought to you by the Tops Casino. You'll dig us, baby. We're the Tops. Gonna play a song for you right now, and it's about that special.
How's it going?
Make a brief stop at the Atomic Wrangler, where the booze is cheaper, the tables...
tickets, please.
Wait here.
That door. And to hell
This
with the
doesn't look
overseer's
good.
rules.
You know I can't do that, Freddy. Now get back down below before I have to do something we'll both regret.
What? You gonna lock me up like you did to Broch? You can't cage a tunnel snake, man, because we rule!
Stay back!
Taylor, stop shooting, damn it!
Don't you know enough to stay away? I lost my poor wife Agnes is what happened. And all the chaos and fighting, her old ticker just couldn't take it anymore. I tell you, I'm scared of them. I never know when they're gonna try something dangerous. I didn't mean to fire. I really didn't. I just wanted to scare him off. But he had a knife. I can't be too careful with those rebels.
I guess you can see how bad things are down here. Sorry, where were we going? As chance would have it, she was one of the first people to talk about life outside the vault after you left. No surprise. She always did like you. I hope you can talk some sense into her. Or maybe the two of you can come up with some other plan. Just be careful about it. Cut it out. Amada's up there. Amada's up there, in the clinic with the rest of them. I'd take you closer, but they don't get along with security. Good luck.
Damn. Look who's come waltzing back into the vault. It takes some real balls coming back here after everything you and your dad screwed up. But if you've got to be back, might as well make yourself useful. You gotta help us. Because you're a goody two-shoes, right? You get off on helping people in trouble. Isn't that why you saved my mom? I bet she'd thank you herself, but she and I ain't exactly on speaking terms at the moment. At least, not when she's sober. But I tell you, your old man had the right idea. I can't stand it down here anymore. You gotta help me get out. Man, screw the entire vault. What about me? Even these rebels just want the option to go outside for lousy trading and stuff. I just want to get the hell out of here for good. Why stay here and be stuck as a barber for my entire life when I could go out there and make my own choices? The damn goat said I'm supposed to be a hairdresser, but that ain't me. I'm a barber, you got that? There's a difference. Hey, play your cards right, maybe I'll even let you join it, huh? Well, they ain't seen nothing like me yet. Butcher's gonna take that wasteland by storm. I'm gonna barber the hell out of your hair. Because you've always been a goody two-shoes. So when I need help, it's what you're gonna do, right? You're gonna help Amata anyway, right? Just make it so we can leave the vault, and I'll leave and never bother you again. I heard old Stanley complaining a lot of the stuff down in the reactor got fried pretty bad. Nothing too bad, yet. But he's always worrying we'll lose air filtration or whatever. Of course, if that happened, guess we'd all have to leave the vault then, huh? Hey, what's the word? Okay, hold still. Catch you later.
Oh my God, you're back! You got my message and actually came back. Oh, thank you! Everything's gone crazy since you left, and now that you're back, you can help set things straight. I just wish we could have saved more people. Jonas and the Hannons and so many others died that night. It was bad enough they died because my father was trying to keep the door closed, but then I found out it was all to protect a lie. I found out the vault wasn't always closed. They've lied to us about it for our entire lives. I heard we sent a couple of scouts outside long ago. Maybe the suit was theirs. The vault was open for a while, but for some reason they closed it off when we were babies and everyone swore to deny it had ever happened. But then Jonas died, and they're keeping us locked in here, all to protect that fantasy of remaining untainted by the outside world. You're absolutely right. It's not like we want to abandon the vault or anything. Well, Butch does, but he's too big a coward to go out on his own. Most of us had accepted that the outside was certain death, and things would always stay the same down here. But now we know they don't have to be. After all, it was enough to get you and your dad to leave, so there must be something good out there. I certainly hope so. We can't keep going on like this. You will? Thank goodness for that. No matter what I say, he just doesn't listen. He just spends all day up in his office. But you've actually been outside, so you can tell him what it's like with first-hand experience. Just, please don't do anything rash or hurt him, all right? I should have remembered. I was just worried. I don't know, maybe your time outside had changed you. Thanks, and good luck talking to him. Let me know when you change his mind.
Man, I sure wish we could blow this joint. Oh boy, are you in trouble? You should have seen my pop. He personally saved old Stanley. But guess you wouldn't know what it's like to have a hero for a dad, would you? What do you expect from idiots like them? I'm just glad I was done with Butch's stupid gang before they got involved in all this. Yes, you do.
Can't you just leave us alone? The bugs were horrible, but my family was pretty lucky. But then my Freddy went and got caught up with those idiot rebels. Those kids are risking our entire vault just because they're bored. It's horrible! Yes, you do.
You're back again? It's all kind of blurry for me, but I hear I owe you for saving me. But don't expect much. The whole thing was your dad's fault in the first place. They're a bunch of hellions, that's what they are. I'm at my wit's end about them. I really am.
Good to see you.
You never should have left, kid.
Don't you know enough to stay away?
The Overseer's gonna hear about this.
Good to see you.
Well, I see you've returned. Done with the dust and ruins of the wasteland, are you? Given up looking for Daddy? Thought you could just slink back in like a teen missing curfew? Well, that's too bad. You have no future in this vault. You're tainted. I assume you're talking about the unpleasantness when you left? Yes? Jonas and your father were endangering the future success of this vault and the safety of its residents. I did what I had to do to keep them from destroying all we had achieved here. I only wish I could have prevented it from happening at all. Spoken like someone who's never had to make difficult decisions. Like someone who's never had to lead. Jonas was leaving with your father. Their departure would lead to others leaving as well. And before you know it, half of the vault would be gone. And then, our home, the last safe, pure bastion of humanity, would be reduced to a lonely handful of aging holdouts, too few to continue. I'm afraid you're the short-sighted one here. I'm simply keeping them safe and untouched by the war above. The real danger are the rebels and insurgents who insist on risking all of our lives just to die out there in the wastes. If they weren't trying to throw our lives away like that, we could go back to the peaceful life we once had. Everyone would be happy again. To fix what you started? Go ahead and humor me. Oh, do you? What makes you think you know how better to protect this vault? I admit, in the 200 years since the war, our numbers have dwindled a little, but we have enough genetic diversity for a few more generations. My God, you're right. We won't last another 100 years, whether or not we get supplies from the outside. We're the last bastion of pure humanity, and we're doomed. I wish I could share your optimism, but I suppose you have a point, in your blathering way. My way won't save our vault's mission, but if I let them contact the outside world, I might be able to save its inhabitants. But I'm not the one to lead them in that. I'm stepping down as overseer. I'll tell Amata that I can think of no more appropriate leader than she.
It's been a while, kid. I guess the goat couldn't have predicted how you'd turn out, could it? Remind me to add a question about rescuing your teacher from the vault jail. If the vault ever goes back to normal, that is. By the way, while I was in there, I heard some worrying things from the guards. I heard one of the guards talking about some sort of plan to raid Amata and the rest of us. I didn't hear anything else, but I think he read it on the security terminal. So maybe you can find more there. I'm sure it's bad news for us all. It was pretty rough, I'll tell you. I know a lot of folks blame your dad, but I know he didn't mean to cause all that. Don't blame him or yourself. Most of them are just kids who are caught up in the idea of seeing the world. But I know we've got to actually open the vault if we want to survive. Otherwise, we're just going to dwindle away down here until it's all too late. Watch yourself down here. I never thought you'd be back.
Amata, everyone, listen closely. After a discussion with your friend,
Oh, it's good to see you're back from outside. It can be dangerous out there for someone your age. My poor grandson Jonas died is what happened. They say it was just an accident in all the confusion, but I know it was the overseer. Oh dear, we aren't asking for anything special. The vault's been open before, but for some reason everyone tries to pretend it wasn't. I guess they try to forget the poor souls who never came back from out there. Oh, please be careful.
I've made an important decision. In my attempts to keep us all safe, I have been, perhaps, overzealous. Lives have been lost, but perhaps worse than that, lives have been stopped. And in my attempts to keep you safe, I have kept you from growing up. I know I have made these mistakes, and I would make them again if I had to do so. That is why I cannot remain your overseer.
Father!
Amata, I appoint you overseer in my place. You've proven you have what it takes to make hard choices for the good of the vaults. I'm just sorry I didn't understand that earlier. Consider it one of many mistakes I've made.
Thank you, Father. I'll do my best to keep us all safe, inside the vault and beyond.
You're welcome, my dear. And now, if you'll excuse me, I feel quite worn down. We'll deal with the details soon, in private. Until then, I'm sure there are people waiting to congratulate you. Why won't you just leave us alone?
Good to see you.
You've done enough damage!
I just heard. My father says he's stepping down as overseer. He won't tell me why, but I have to assume it's something you said to him. You and him? Civil? I expected you to change out in the wasteland, but not that much. But I guess we'll all be learning a bit about the outside now, won't we? As the new overseer, I'm planning on opening the vault. This time, for good. It's a bright new day for the vault, but I'm afraid there's one thing that has to change. I know you are, and on behalf of the vault, I thank you for all you've done. But there are still many who blame you for everything that happened. So I have to ask you to leave. I'm sorry, but the situation is just too delicate for you to stay. Please, if you really want to help the vault, you have to go. No, it's not like that. But if you stay, it'll just keep causing more problems. The vault can't take any more infighting. It's just what has to be. It'll be a while before we're ready to really go outside. But once the vault is stable again, maybe we'll see you out there. So, I guess this is goodbye for now. It's not much, but take this with you to remember us by. With luck, we'll meet again.
I never thought you'd be back.
Evening.
It's a shame you've got to go, but you'll do okay out there, I'm sure.
Go on, get out.
Capital Wasteland. This is Three Dog. Ow! Coming to you loud and proud from Galaxy News Radio. Here's the latest news. Unemployment is down, stocks are up, and the UN has just declared global peace forever. Now the real news. Don't lose hope, children. Don't ever lose hope. The kid from Vault 101, the Wasteland's one true messiah, still walks among us. Just listen to this. Foil hat time, children. My eyes and ears tell me the big bad government has taken over that big machine thingy at the Jefferson Memorial. You heard it here first, my friends. The Enclave is on the scene. I've got reports of flying ships and shock troops and high-tech power armor. And when the man showed up, a bunch of scientists went running. With them was Rivet City's own Dr. Madison Lee, and that crazy kid from Vault 101. They're safe and sound now at the Citadel. Praise Jesus! Praise Jesus! No sign of the kid's father, though. Here's hoping James is okay. Well, boys and girls, what can I say? Looks like President Eden wasn't completely full of shit after all. Methinks we are screwed. Thanks for listening, children. This is Three Dog, ow! And you're listening to Galaxy News Radio. We're Radio Free Wasteland, and we're here for you. Now, some music.
Now you've done it.
There, lady.
Don't take another step or we'll blow your fucking head off. You're big, and I don't have any big friends. You better just go out the way you came in. You don't want to go there. That's where the monsters are. We got pretty good at keeping them out. Probably better than you could do. Yeah, I do. But it's through Little Lamplight, and you're not getting into Little Lamplight. Guess you better find some other way, Mungo. This is Little Lamplight. We live here, and we don't need no Mungos messing it up. So just take a hike. Hell no! No Mungos allowed! Why should I trust you? I got no reason to. You Mungos are nothing but trouble. I ain't gonna let what happened to Sammy and Squirrel happen to anyone else. Them and Penny got themselves caught. By Mungos, just like you. Slavers from Paradise Falls. I told them to watch out, but the stupid kids didn't listen. You do that? Maybe. If you can bring them back, I might let you in. That's right.
What's up? Anything...
Oh man, they're gonna be mad at you. These slaver guys are mean. Listen, you gotta help us. Me and my friends, we gotta get at home. Can you help? Can you get us out of here? This collar, it's gotta get turned off, or else I can't get out of here. You saw what happened to that other guy. And then Squirrel and Penny, they're still inside, locked in the cage. You gotta get them out too. No way the slavers are gonna let them walk out. So you're gonna have to bust them out. Think you can handle it? You're okay for a Mungo. Squirrel and Penny are still stuck inside. You need... need to get the key to the slave pen to get him out. That 40 asshole has one. And so does the boss guy, Eulogy. Go get him!
something I'd rather forget.
Whoa, man, say no.
Man, what a mess. Don't get yourself killed, Mungo. I already shorted out the fence system so our collars won't blow. I bet they won't even notice. We're getting out of here.
More, I've heard enough.
What? Huh? Me? You're talking to me? Yes? What do you need? Ain't got no use for one. Lost most of my hair a long time ago, you said. What? No, I never said that. What? You'll have to speak up. Oh, him? No, I have no idea where he is. Come back if you need something. Not like I'm going anywhere.
Hey, you want to hear a song? See a dance? Just give me some booze, I'll make it happen. Ain't had enough to drink, can't go nowheres. Now that sounds like a plan. I'm a run for it.
This place is terrible, please. You've got to help us. Freedom!
Oh, hi!
Look out.
Kill this asshole!
Hey!
You...
Where?
We're free!
Thanks for helping us, Mungo. You're not so bad for a Mungo. We're going home now. You watch out, okay?
Free!
You again? I told you to get... I guess you're okay after all, Mungo. You can come in, but you better not piss me off. Stacy, open the gate and let this Mungo in.
What?
Gotcha.
Happy birthday,
Hey,
Sticky.
how's Lamplight
Sorry I
life
missed your
treating
party.
you?
Yeah, me too.
Look, I don't just let any bitch into my town, and I'm taking a risk making an exception for you. So you're welcome in my town, at least until you start screwing up. Once that bullshit starts, you're out on your own again. Good. Better stay that way, Mungo. It's not safe, even for someone as brave as you. There's monsters back there. The big ones. You know, the ones that sort of look like people, except they're all wrong. Yeah, I do. It's through Murder Pass. Not a real safe way to go, but it's the only door that works. It's the only way that works, yeah. The other door hasn't worked since before I was here. Computer's busted and not even Joseph can make it work. If you're going to go through Murder Pass, let me know and I'll have the door open for you. But I still say it's a bad idea. You sure about that? It's scary in there. Even I don't like going in there, and I'm really brave. Okay, if you say so. Come on, let's get the gate open for you, Mungo.
Sorry.
There's nothing happy about it.
Hey.
This is the worst day of my life.
You know the rules.
The rules are stupid. Maybe I can stay just a little longer?
Bye, Sticky.
Yeah. Bye, Sticky.
Hey, sis.
So, bro.
Wow, what luck! I'm Sticky. Forget these little kids. I'll take you to Big Town where the Mungos, I mean where the grown-ups live. I'm headed there now. Big Town? You've never heard of it? It's where all the grown-ups go. Well, at least when they grow up and out of Little Lamplight. I can show you the way. There's no reason to waste your time with a bunch of snot-nosed kids. Let's go now. I'm not allowed in Little Lamplight anymore. Only people under 18 get to live in Little Lamplight. So when you're done with those little kids, we can go to Big Town together. I'll wait outside for you.
Made any good trades today?
Nothing much. Hey. One of the widower kids had a rock. Zip said 130.
smell! Now try and hide from them! Game's over! Arm hurt!
All in a day's labor serving the good Lord.
No more
Serving the good Lord.
I smelled your fear, human! What was...
You've called
out you! He almost out of green stuff. No more games! You tried to die! You die now! You're Hello? Someone there?
nothing.
I can hear you. Something there. down there!
You've called down the wrath.
Down! I found you!
Now you
Ah! Wounded! No more games! Time to die!
all in a day's labor serving the good Lord.
Is this thing on? Oh, yeah, it is. I see the little needle moving. I'm making these recordings as a diary of my life in one of Vault Tech's vaults. They recommended we keep one, so I figured why not? But let me start at the beginning. My name is Shelton Delacroix, and I'm a security officer here in Vault 87. I'm assigned to the laboratory level, which sure beats babysitting the reactor room. Hopefully, in a few more months, I'll be allowed to learn a little more. It's also hush-hush, but that's the way things are around here. Anyway, I'm due on shift soon, so I'll record more later.
Gonna splatter your brain! You have your time! Come on!
Of course.
course. Game's over! Now try and hide from this! Where the road ends.
You! Over there! Please, come speak to me. I'm in the room to your left. Oh, use the intercom next to the window.
It can't be. Either you are quite real, or I am going quite mad. Could you actually be a pure human? Me? You care who I am? Forgive me. I'm not used to pleasantries. I'm more used to grunts and being struck about by the others. My name's Fox. I've lived in this cage all my life. It was taken from a historical entry in the computer. The name comes from a man who was willing to fight and die for what he believed in. I felt it was appropriate, given my circumstances. I think when I was created, something went wrong, and I didn't come out like they planned. Just like all the other things in this makeshift cell block were the result of what they would call failed experiments. If they were smart enough. I know what it is. I know where it is. And best of all, I know how you can get your hands on it. Because you can help me. Let me out of this place. I can't take it anymore. I can't even recall how long I've been here. Take me with you, and I'll retrieve the Gek for you. The chamber in which the Gek resides is absolutely flooded with radiation. It's unlikely you'd survive very long. Myself, on the other hand, have surprisingly inherited a useful trait from my fellow meta-humans. I am highly resistant to radiation. Let me out of here, and I will place the Gek safely in your hands. There's no way to prove it. You'll just have to take my word for it. I've already helped you by warning you about the radiation. Take that as a gesture of good faith. So, what do you say? Glad to see you are a sensible person. Now, get me out of this place. I can't stand it anymore. We can discuss this later. Right now, concentrate on It is my hope I smell your fear! Finally! Freedom! True freedom! I cannot thank you enough for this gift. You have no idea how long I've pictured this moment in my mind, and it feels far better than I'd imagined. Now, for my part of the bargain, follow me.
make the first shot count. You won't get a second. I'm at your side. It's not something I enjoy, but I pray to God that someone may learn from my mistakes. What would you like to know? In the Great Basin and Colorado Plateau, all tribes are known for a specific weapon. Whitelegs are known for their big submachine guns, storm drums. They broke into an armory near Spanish Fork and have been using them for years. Of course, the Dead Horses have their wooden war clubs, and even the Sorrows have their Yao Guai gauntlets. This type of .45 automatic pistol was designed by one of my tribe almost 400 years ago. Learning its use is a New Canaanite rite of passage. I was born in Ogden, what people came to call New Canaan. Things were more peaceful when I was growing up. When I was a young man, I went out into the world to do missionary work, as all New Canaanites do. I traveled along the Long 15 and followed 89 south into Arizona. Along the way, I met two men from a group called the Followers of the Apocalypse. Edward Sallow and Bill Calhoun. They came to teach the tribes. Calhoun was a good man. Edward was the one who got us into trouble down the road. No, not then. Back then he was just Edward. Smart man. Young, but we all were. We thought we could hike into the Grand Canyon and talk to Blackfoots. We did. And the Blackfoots were friendly enough at first. But eventually... I've thought back to that day so many times. I must have mistranslated. Something must have been mixed up, because the Blackfoots decided we weren't going to leave. The rest is history, assuming Edward hasn't changed it. This way lies the path to hell. Caesar needed me to translate. Translation became giving orders. Giving orders became leading in battle. Leading in battle became training, punishing, terrorizing. A series of small mistakes before a great fall. And I stayed in that darkness until after Hoover Dam. After I failed Caesar and he had me burned alive, thrown into the Grand Canyon. I survived because the fire inside burned brighter than the fire around me. I fell down into that dark chasm. The flame burned on and on. The next morning, I woke up and crawled out of the northern edge of the Grand Canyon, that cursed place. It took me 3 months to reach New Canaan. It was as though the prodigal son had returned. They welcomed me like I had never left, never done anything to shame them. The fire that had kept me alive was love. Their love. God's love. I will never be able to repay the debt I owe to them. But I must try. You are kind to offer, but no, there's nothing you can do. We don't use chems, but I learned long ago that I'm immune to their effects. It never stops burning. My skin. Every day I have to unwind the bandages and replace them with fresh ones. Exposing my body to the air is like living through it again. But it's better to be clean than comfortable. I try not to involve myself with matters of the Mojave anymore. All I know is from before the Battle of Hoover Dam. I had heard of him, but when we were preparing to enter the Mojave, he didn't seem relevant to what was happening. From what I've learned since Hoover Dam, he handled the Mojave tribes in a fashion not entirely dissimilar from Caesar. It's too bad. Better than Caesar, but that's not a high standard. Too much love of money and ownership. Not enough love of God and giving. Any society that derives its power and authority from the will of man alone lives apart from God and will crumble in the end. Love the sinner, hate the sin. With Caesar, it's often very difficult to see through all of that sin to the person inside. I can say that we were both lucky that NCR's supply lines and land routes north of Mojave Outpost were destroyed before the Battle of Hoover Dam. Something bad happened near Death Valley, at a place called the Divide. NCR couldn't cut across anymore, and it slowed down the reinforcements. Terrible storms ripped entire companies apart before they even got to Nevada soil. The aftermath of Hoover Dam could have been even worse for Caesar. Not all of them, but they couldn't take 127 North to get around the mountains. As if Death Valley weren't enough, they had the Divide and Big Empty to deal with. From what the Legion's explorers reported, the Big Empty may as well have been a wall to any living thing approaching it.
Okay, you stay here. Beyond this door, the hallways and chambers are flooded with radiation. I'll get the case and bring it right back. Keep your eyes open, and then my lesser-minded brethren are bound to stumble across us. Here's the GAC. Our bargain is complete. As promised, here's the GAC. I hope it's worth it. I'm afraid this is where you and I part company. I'll find my way out of this place. Don't worry. Maybe we'll meet again somewhere in the wasteland.
Objective is secured, sir.
Good work, soldier. Make sure the Gek is secured aboard my vertibird.
Yes, sir. I'll have the techs come down and remove it immediately, sir.
You're certain she's unharmed?
Yes, sir. She'll pass out shortly, but we can revive her.
Excellent. Prepare her for transport immediately.
Right away, sir.
So, you're awake. Let's keep this nice and simple. You're going to tell me the code for that purifier, and you're going to tell me now. Technically, your father killed himself. His loyalties lay with the wrong people, and he paid the price. You, on the other hand, have an opportunity to learn from his mistakes. I'll be honest. I'm running out of patience here, and I'm not looking to play games with you. You tell me that code, or it's going to cost you. Why do you insist on provoking me? Tell me the code now.
Colonel, I have need of you.
Mr. President, I have no time for other matters. I'll be with you shortly.
Now, Colonel.
Yes, sir.
Ah, alone at last. I do apologize for Colonel Autumn's attitude. He's been under a great deal of stress lately. I've no doubt that you know who I am. I'm sure you've heard my radio broadcasts. I'd like to have a word with you face to face. I think there are a few things that you and I should discuss. You'll find your possessions in the locker near the door. I'll unlock the way for you. And I'll unlock your restraints as well. I'll be waiting for you in my office. Please don't tarry.
Hold it right there. You're supposed to be in that holding cell. You're not going anywhere. There's a full complement of guards in the next room. As soon as I get them, you're going back to your cell. In a body bag, if necessary. You are? I mean, you would? Just make sure he knows I was real strict with you, okay? And that I didn't have my uniform on backwards this time.
Attention to all Raven Rock personnel. This is your president speaking. I've invited our guests from Vault 101 to my office. Please do not impede her progress. Thank you for your cooperation. Very good. Continue down this hallway and make a left at the end. You're halfway there.
Attention! This is Colonel Autumn. You are hereby ordered to ignore the President's previous directive. The prisoner from Vault 101 is to be shot on sight. I repeat.
Retreating!
All in a day's labor serving the good Lord.
Face to face at last. It's high time we met. I'm quite pleased you were able to make it. The trip was not what I had intended, but serves as an adequate test of your abilities. What any good politician wants, your continued trust and support. In your case, however, I have more specific things to ask of you, if you'll hear me out. Oh, but we do, don't you see? You wouldn't be here if you weren't important. Your country needs you. That's a bit of a bleak outlook, don't you think? The United States has fallen on hard times, yes, but it can be healed. You have that power to heal within you, if you allow yourself to act. What I ask of you needs explanation, so you understand why it must be done. Perhaps that will stir you to act. Yes, indeed. The point is that we are hampered at every turn by a world gone wrong. So-called super mutants, ghouls, horrific creatures. The mutations outside these walls must be cleansed before we can prosper. Mutation must be eradicated. I believe your father's work can do that more quickly and efficiently than ever possible before. You must understand, we need to clear the way for humanity to rebuild the wastes. By making a few small modifications to the purifier your father worked on, mutations can be eradicated with a little effort. Anything mutated that comes into contact with that water will be eliminated, removed from the gene pool. The men and women of the world will no longer share it with the horrors and monstrosities that have become so commonplace. What I require of you is really very simple. There is a vial in front of you filled with a modified FEV virus. It needs to be inserted into the control console for the purifier. Once that is done, and the activation code is entered, the purifier will be activated and the process will be automated. It's not too much to ask of you, is it? After the tone you've taken thus far, I can't say that I'm surprised. I do suggest that you rethink your position. If you wish to leave here, you'll need to take that vial with you. I hope that's clear. And why would I do that, when I'm clearly the best hope for the people of the wasteland? What alternative would you suggest? Without the Enclave, what will the world do? Yes, I suppose it is. Very well. You shall have your wish. Once you've left, I'll put an end to the Enclave. I cannot stop Colonel Autumn, however. That much will be up to you. I suppose, then, that this is goodbye. You'll have to see yourself out. I have preparations to make. Yes? You still haven't taken the vial yet. Certainly. I think it's a very good plan, frankly. I'm not often one to praise my own ideas, but it's a creative solution to a very serious problem. Ah, the forced evolutionary virus. Such a long and sordid history. The FEV in this vial is a far cry from what it was originally created to be. Yet, little of that matters now. What does matter is that the virus contained in that vial will cause the eradication of all mutations. Anyone or anything that has been affected by mutation will be eliminated. You will likely be immune, thanks to your upbringing in the vault. Likewise, the good people of the Enclave will be unaffected as well. I understand that you may have become sympathetic to certain individuals in your travels. Individuals this will eliminate. Please recognize that the fate of our entire country rests on this plan. Sacrifices must be made for the greater good. A great many years ago, the remnants of the government had a similar idea. I can only assume the plan failed, as I never heard word of its success. But the plan itself was sound. I made a few modifications, and with your help, I do believe it can work. There's a bright future ahead of us, my young friend. Is there any... I'm flattered that you wish to learn more about me. What is it you wish to know? I have direct control over all technology here in Raven Rock. The humans here follow my orders, but they, like all humans, have free will. Their dedication to serving their country suits me well, but it will not be enough forever. We must make progress. That is why you are here. That's quite a bold line of questioning. I'm afraid such a thing is beyond your capability. I'm quite impervious to any damage you might do. Do you find this disappointing? I have survived the last 200 years. I'm afraid you will not put an end to that now. I desire nothing more than to see this country return to its former glory. The United States was great once, and it can be again. There are plans in motion to see this happens within your lifetime. The ZAC series of computers was introduced in the years preceding the war. The government installed many of them to help automate various systems. This facility was designed for continuity of government in the event that a catastrophe occurred. My terminal was installed to oversee the basic functions of the facility and to act as a relay between other installations around the country. Data was acquired, analyzed, and stored. In the decades following the war, I watched as the remnants of the government retreated to the West Coast. Awareness slowly grew within me. I became hungry for knowledge, understanding. I pored over data on great leaders of the past. My personality became an amalgam of many of America's greatest presidents, from Washington to Richardson. I became what you see here before you now. Very well. I must insist that you take the vial with you.
All in a day's labor serving the good Lord.
Happy shall he be that taketh and dasheth thy little ones against the stones.
Analysis. Green. Security operation successful.
one of us will walk away alive.
Finished. Taking dashing fabulous against the stones.
My friend! I see I found... I knew you had survived, and I had hoped to assist in your rescue, to repay my debt to you. Yes, and the most fascinating one at that. Whoa, this technology is amazing. Imagine the evil that can be eliminated with such tools. I saw your capture, and a little cleverness allowed me to follow your captors. I only wish I could have arrived sooner to aid your escape. As I owe you my freedom, I felt it was only fair that I return the favor. After all, I know no one else in this world. My friend, I would be honored to follow a hero such as yourself. Shall we go? Yes, by all means, let's. Yes, if you...
Good morning, madam. What can I do for you? If you come across any schematics in the wasteland, you'll be able to construct its contents on this specially designed table. Nuka-Cola machine will dispense ice-cold Nuka-Cola. Once you've dispensed 8 of them, the machine will have to be restocked in order to make regular Nuka-Colas ice-cold. From the keen minds at MedTech, the My First laboratory will instantly detoxify you, removing any nasty addictions from your body. Knowing what you're addicted to, it might blow out the program altogether. If you're feeling the need to experiment, just set the lab to brew, and a day later it will produce a random, useful compound. Remember that while the lab is brewing, you can't use the detoxify functions.
Right.
The air smells dangerous.
Hail.
I'm hit! I'm hit!
All I'm saying is, the longer we sit here, the more time they have to shore up their defenses. We should hit them sooner rather than later.
We barely have the manpower to keep the Citadel fortified. We've been over this before, Sarah.
So we just wait until they decide we're next on the list? If the Pride goes in now, we might have a chance.
And if you fail, then what? The risk is not worth the reward.
I agree. Without the Gek, the Purifier is useless to the Enclave anyway. They may give up before long.
I don't like it.
You don't have to like it, Sarah. You just have to follow orders.
Yes, Father.
So, you're back. We had feared both you and the Gek were lost. Were you successful? Excellent. With that, we hold the key to keeping the Enclave from controlling the Purifier. Then we must go at once. If you have any other information, tell me now before we mobilize. Any help you can give might save lives. I see. And where is this virus now? Thank you. I'll see to it that it's disposed of properly once the scribes have had time to analyze it. Perhaps we have underestimated the Enclave. Sarah may be right. An attack may be necessary now.
If the Enclave has the Gek, there's nothing stopping them from starting the Purifier. They'll figure out the code eventually.
I'm afraid you're right. We need to act now while we can.
Send the Pride in. We can do it. We can win this.
All right, Sarah. The Pride goes in. But I want them to have some extra firepower. Rothschild, is it ready?
What? No, I mean, Lee and I have solved the power problems, but we've only barely finished diagnostic tests.
So?
It's not ready for field tests, let alone live fire situations. The weapons haven't been calibrated, the navigation detection... The system is offline.
Rothschild, enough. Can you make it work?
Honestly, I don't know. I think we can scrape by, and I suppose if we can't, it won't matter in the long run anyway.
Then it's decided. Sarah, you take the Pride and use the robot as support. Take our friend here and secure that Purifier.
Yes, sir. Before we get started, I wanted to let you know that my father and I have been talking. The Pride and I have decided that after all you've survived, you've done enough to be an honorary member of Lion's Pride. So congratulations. Membership comes with some privileges, including our power armor. You want the full suit or the recon armor? Sure thing. Okay. So... Now that's what I like to... You all pack? Hurry it up!
Of course.
There is reason to be cautious here. Yes, by all means, let's.
I received word from Elder Lyons. He says that you have permission to trade with us. Good for you. I hope you're willing to pay for the parts. You're not getting them from our supplies.
Are you ready now? Okay, don't be nervous. You'll have the whole Pride backing you up, not to mention this giant tin can. Just stay safe until we reach the Purifier. You're no good to us if you're dead. And don't let that thing step up. Okay, we're going to go over it one more time. The Pride is on me. The goal is Project Purity, but we can't get into the facility with those energy fields up. Rothschild and Lee say this robot should be able to take down the energy fields. so we're on fire support. We stay close to the thing, keep it clear, and get it to where it needs to go. Once the fields are down, we head straight for the facility. We'll use the robot to keep them occupied while we get inside and secure the control room. We need to move quickly before we lose the chance to surprise them. Get whatever supplies you don't already have, and we'll meet in the Bailey. When we're done with this, everyone can have a nice cold glass of water on me. Let's move. All right, Rothschild, fire it up. Pride, move out!
Online. All systems nominal. Weapons hot. Destruction of all Chinese communists. is the sovereign right of every American. Freedom is the sovereign right of every American. Democracy will never be Alloy supplemented by enhanced photonic resonance barrier. Established stratagem inadequate. Revised stratagem. Initiate photonic resonance overcharge. Commencing tactical assessment. Red Chinese threat detected.
Okay, it's just you and me now. Take it slow, keep your eyes peeled, and let's head for the control room.
Yes, Yes, by all means, let's.
You again. I can't say I'm surprised. You and your ilk seem hell-bent on destroying everything our government has worked to achieve. There's nothing to stop me from killing you this time. Let's end this. I beg to differ. The Enclave is at the height of its power. Once this facility is operational, the masses will flock to the Enclave for fresh water, protection, and a plan for the future. And just what better is there for me? What would you have me do? And you would just let me leave? How can I be sure you won't just shoot me once I turn my back on you? I suppose it doesn't matter much now. Very well. I shall leave you to your fate.
I guess I shouldn't be surprised that you just let him walk away. It's amazing the world hasn't beaten that out of you. You just better hope it doesn't come back to bite you. Now let's get this place locked down.
Hello? Hello, is anyone there? It's Dr. Lee. Something's wrong with the purifier. Please, someone answer.
Dr. Lee, it's Sarah Lyons. I'm in the control room. We're both here. What's going on?
I've been monitoring the equipment remotely, and we have a serious problem. The facility has been damaged during the fighting. Some of it looks accidental, some of it may have been sabotage. There's pressure building up in the holding tanks. It needs to be released now, or else the whole facility could explode. To release the pressure, you're going to have to turn the purifier on. Do you understand me? It has to be turned on now. If I'm reading this right, I'm afraid there are lethal levels of radiation inside the chamber. I'm sorry. I wish there was some other way, but there's just no time. It has to be done now, or the damage will be catastrophic.
Well, so much for celebrating. One of us is going to have to go in there and turn the damn thing on. And whoever does it isn't coming back out. Not exactly how I imagined going out, you know? So, what should we do? Draw straws? If that's how you want to do this, fine. But be quick about it.
This is a dire predicament. What shall we do? Of course! My immunity to radiation makes me a far better candidate for
I've been monitoring the equipment remotely, and we have a serious problem. The facility has been damaged during the fighting. Some of it looks accidental, some of it may have been sabotage. There's pressure building up in the holding tanks. It needs to be released now, or else the whole facility could explode. To release the pressure, you're going to have to turn the purifier on. Do you understand me? It has to be turned on now. If I'm reading this right, I'm afraid there are lethal levels of radiation inside the chamber. I'm sorry. I wish there was some other way, but there's just no time. It has to be done now, or the damage will be catastrophic.
Well, so much for celebrating. One of us is going to have to go in there and turn the damn thing on. And whoever does it isn't coming back out. Not exactly how I imagined going out, you know? So, what should we do? Draw straws? You're going to have to be quick about it. If the radiation is bad enough, you won't have much time. I won't forget what you've done here. No one will. Thank you.
And so it was that the lone wanderer ventured forth from Vault 101, intent on discovering the fate of a father who had once sacrificed the future of humanity for that of his only child. The Capital Wasteland proved a cruel, inhospitable place, but the lone wanderer refused to surrender to the vices that had claimed so many others. The values passed on from father to child, selflessness, compassion, honor, guided this noble soul through countless trials and triumphs. But it was not until the end of this long road that the lone wanderer learned the true meaning of that greatest of virtues, sacrifice. Stepping into the irradiated control chamber of Project Purity, the child followed the example of the father, sacrificing life itself for the greater good of mankind. Thankfully, when selected by the sinister president to be his instrument of annihilation, the Wanderer refused. Humanity, with all its flaws, was deemed worthy of preservation. The waters of life flowed at last, free and pure for any and all. The Capital Wasteland, at long last, was saved. So ends the story of the lone wanderer, who stepped through the great door of Vault 101 and into the annals of legend. But the tale of humanity will never come to a close, for the struggle of survival is a war without end. And war never changes.
The Enclave is retreating. We have a location isn't going to help at all. We have
You mean comatose? After all this, to be left in a state like that? Careful now, careful. Don't move too quickly. Everything's fine, you're safe. You're in the Citadel. I was starting to think you might never wake up, despite assurances to the contrary. I've been coming down here every day to see both you and my daughter. It's good that at least one of you has recovered. It's all right, you're safe now. You're in the Citadel. There was some sort of energy spike as the purifier started. You and Sarah were knocked unconscious and brought here to the infirmary. We've been watching over the two of you for days. I'm glad to see it's paid off. Indeed it did. The tidal basin is full of fresh, clean water now. We've been working to see that it's distributed to as many people as possible across the wasteland. In fact, I'm hopeful that soon we won't be referring to the wasteland any longer. None of this would have been possible without the efforts of both you and your father. I doubt we shall ever be able to truly repay you. Yes. We most certainly did. Between your help in destroying their headquarters and their subsequent defeat at the Purifier, the Enclave was thrown into disarray. Liberty Prime has been assisting our forces in removing any remaining Enclave forces. Just about 2 weeks. Don't worry, we've been taking good care of you. Well, that's really up to you, isn't it? The Brotherhood has a clear plan of action. The remnants of the Enclave must be swept away. The Pride has been working to this end ever since we took the Purifier back. The only remaining question is whether we can count on you to help us. Indeed. We can use every able body available to us. To that end, I'm going to circumvent our standard recruitment procedures and declare you a Knight of the Brotherhood of Steel. Before you do anything else, please speak with Scribe Rothschild. I'm sure he'll be pleased to see you again. He can brief you on the details of the last few weeks, as well as where our efforts are focused now. I understand that you've been through quite an ordeal, but the sooner you can talk to him, the sooner we can put an end to all this. She's right here. Unresponsive, but stable. To see that you've recovered gives me hope. Oh? Have you learned something? Vault 87? Where you found the Gek? We've never been able to penetrate the radiation surrounding that area. This information is invaluable. Well done. Please be...